Good morning, everybody, and welcome into another episode of Saturday Morning Makes. I am so glad you're here with me this morning. I hope everybody had a good week and that you had fun creating. I am actually filming this on Friday night because I have a commitment tomorrow. But I do have a few projects to share, and this first project uses this primitive stitched star die from IO Dies, and this is one of Anna White's designs. If you don't follow Anna White, who is Sweet Miss Daisy on her blog, and Anna White on YouTube, you should. And this is her primitive stitched star die 1129-W from Impression Obsession Stamps, so iostamps.com. And I love this sweet prim style die. And I took that die and this little Stampin' Up! Woodblock stamp, which I've had for eons. This is back from 1998. And I stamped this out and hand cut it. And then I also took a stitched circle die. This one is actually, I didn't bring this die down with me, but this is actually from Anna's jar die, her mason jar die that's also on the IOstamps site. So I had that die out on my desk and I wanted to use this little scallop circle to put on top of the star. But you could use any scallop circle die that you have in your stash. And then I used the LOTV Christmas sentiment tags that say Christmas hugs, and I added a prim red jingle bell from Joann's Fabric and Crafts to create these sweet little Christmas tags. And I just made 3 of them. This one uses this sweet sugar and spice sentiment, and that is from, I'll show you the stamp set that one is from. This is also from Lily of the Valley Stamps in the UK. And LOTV Digi Shop on Etsy, and it's called the Baked with Love tags. And the one that I used is Sugar and Spice right here. So that's the tag that I used on that one. And then the other 2 use sentiments from this Christmas sentiments stamp set from Lily of the Valley. And I have some stamped out images in here, but this is what that set looks like. And I'm sorry, I don't have an envelope for this one, so you can't see it as well. But it's a long time sentiment stamp set that I've been using for years on my channel. So if you've been with me for a long time, you know exactly which stamp set that is. So these 2 that say Christmas hugs are using that the Christmas sentiment stamp set. And there are 2 new fall sentiment stamp sets in their shop, along with some new Halloween stamps. And I did do last weekend's, I think it was last week's Sunday video. I think it was Saturday Morning Makes video, actually. I shared those stamps with you guys. So if you haven't seen those yet, they're beautiful Halloween images too. But these are, of course, some sweet Christmas tags. And I was inspired to make these by my friend Kelly, who did a beautiful Saturday Morning Makes video where she shared some prim tags that she had done using a die set from Whimsy Stamps, I believe. And that reminded me of this prim tag die from Anna. So I pulled mine out, and this is what I created. So Kelly, thank you for the inspiration. If you haven't visited Kelly's channel, I will try and link it down below for you. But if you follow Saturday Morning Makes, you will definitely find Kelly's videos, okay? So she's Kelly in Idaho. So it's Kelly, Kellinid. And I believe that is the name of her channel. But again, I will link it down below. I did share it last week, so most of you are probably familiar if you're following Saturday Morning Makes. So that is my first project. So I'm going to set these up here, and I'll move on to the next thing. So the next thing I did was I pulled out this beautiful woodblock stamp. This is from IOstamps also. This is Impression Obsession. It's called Gingerbread with Treats. It's a Gail Green stamp, and it's F7637. Now, Impression Obsession is no longer selling their woodblock stamps. Frantic Stamper does carry a lot of their images. I don't know if they still have this or not, but if you're looking for some of the IOstamps stamps, there are some still on the Frantic Stamper site. But again, a lot of my stuff I've had in my stash for many years. So I combined these two stamps together to create some Christmas tags. And I love this beautiful image of this gingerbread house. So I used those two older products and I created two tags to share with you today. This first one is stamped on some book paper. And remember, if you're going to take book paper and use it, you do need to glue it to some cardstock before trying to die cut or work with it, because it will rip too easily and just not hold up. So you want to glue it to the cardstock before you die cut or try to use it. So I stamped the image onto the book paper and then I colored with Copic markers and white gel pen. I added a little popped up ginger right here. And then I used this little Hello Sweetie tag, which is from this beautiful, whoops, oh my goodness, okay. It is from this stamp set, which is the Christmas recipe tags, and it's, which one is it? It's this one here that says Hello Sweetie. So this again is from Lili the Valley Stamps in the UK, and this is their new Christmas recipe tags that I shared with you earlier in the season here during, I think it was during Christmas in July that I first shared it. But that is the tag that I added up here, this little Hello Sweetie. And I haven't added a bell to this one yet because I did glue a little bow onto this one. And this one is, the grommet is at the corner. Oh no, I did add bells, but I put the bells up at the top. So these are attached to the knot at the top with the garment pin and then two little bells. One is a rusted jingle bell and one is a red jingle bell. And I had some questions about how I do my ties, so I wanted to show you. Someone was asking how I do it. So I double the cording. So like if you're going to take your cord, okay, I cut a piece and I double it, and then I stick this through the eyelet hole, okay? So I've got a piece of cording like this. And then once I have it through there, I actually tie a knot and bring the knot down to where my eyelet is. So it sits right at the base of the tag. And that knot is kind of what's holding this bow on, because I make the bow and then I glue it on with some hot glue. And then I tie a second knot up at the top, and that's how I attach the garment pin. I slide the garment pin through the knot. So I'm just literally tying two knots. I'm adding a bow to one of the knots, and I'm tying the second knot and adding the garment pin and the bells. I had some questions about that, and especially on the stocking tag, how was I doing it? And that's how I do it. And then I glue the greenery with hot glue right onto the twine or my ribbon. So on the stocking tag that I made, someone was asking how I glue the greenery on, and I cut a little piece of greenery and then I just use hot glue to attach it. But I am going to try and do some process videos, you guys, but I have to have time to do that. And so I will try and get to the two process videos that people asked me for. One was for the stocking tag, the Tim Holtz stocking tag. Somebody would like me to do a process video of that. And then someone else asked if I would do a process video of the scarecrow round face tag that I did that has the hay for the hair. So I'm going to try and do those. It might take me a while to get to them, but I will try and add them to my video repertoire. So that is the first one. And then I did a second one, and this one I stamped on some music paper, and this was a Hobby Lobby paper pad, which I actually forgot to bring it down, but it was a little 4x6 Christmas paper pad from several years ago that I had some music paper in. So I stamped the house onto the music paper, and this is just die cut with a scallop. It's actually die cut with this bigger die, and then I re-put it back in down at the bottom to cut it a little shorter, to make it kind of into a smaller rectangle, if you will. So you can do that if you need to make a different size die cut. And so that's how I did this. I did edge it with tea dye ink. I colored with Copics, and again, I used my white gel pen to add all the details that you see on the red Copic marker to make my candy canes look like they have white, and to do all the icing and icicles. So, and then there's that Hello Sweetie tag, and this one I put the eyelet in the center. because when I did it the second time, this was my prototype tag, I wanted it to be a little bit bigger so that I could do, this one I didn't leave quite big enough to put the tag here, so that's why I did it on the corner. So when I did the second tag, I made it a little bit bigger. I left a little more room at the bottom and at the top so I could do the eyelet in the center and then add a second tag with an eyelet here. So you can see the first eyelet, this has a little baby eyelet, and then they're attached together. And then the little bells are at the top attached with a garment pin through the knot. Okay, so I just think these turned out very charming and old-fashioned, and you know how much I love the prim style. I love old-fashioned and kind of homespun things, and so both of these are right up my alley. So those are the tags that I made, and then I also have a card to share with you. And the die set that I used for the card is one that I've had in my stash for years. This one is by Debi Potter. I love her dies. I wish she was still designing. I haven't seen anything new from her in a while, but she's normally over in the UK, so you have to sometimes look on the UK sites to find her. But she's a designer for Sissix in the UK. And this is the die number 660726, okay? And this is quite a few years old. Let me see if I can tell you the year. Does it have a year on here? 2015. So this is like 7 years old. So you might have to look on eBay to find it if you're interested. But I fell in love with this tree when I saw it because it reminds me of a prim style of die, or a prim style Christmas tree. And then the other thing that I used was this Sugar Pea Designs. Sugar Pea Designs is a wonderful company, and this is a die I've had for a long time that makes this little heart border. Okay, so I used those two dies, and I'll show you the card that I created. I took the tree and I cut it again out of book paper that I had glued to cardstock. I used this beautiful die set from My Creative Time. You've seen me share this many times. It's the Pretty Scallop Oval dies, and I'm very excited about future scallop dies that are coming out with their next release. But these are the Pretty Scallop Ovals, and I just love these. I'm not sure if they're in stock right now, but if they're not in stock right now, they will be back very soon. But I love these scallops because they're uneven, and it's very kind of homespun like, as if you cut them yourselves. So that's what I used. The beautiful rose colored paper, the little roses in the background. This is that beautiful paper from Iralamija Shop, and I use that in the background here. And then this is a gingham paper that is from a digital shop on Etsy that I've had for many years. I just print it all the time. This is just a little scrap of cardstock that I folded. I just wanted to kind of almost create like a visual triangle here. But I just felt like it needed something. I put some of that same cardstock behind the star here. And then this is one of those little tags from the LOTV Digi Shop, or Lili of the Valley stamps in the UK. You can see that border from Sugar Pea Designs here. So I just think this turned out so sweet. You can see the inside has that beautiful scallop die from My Creative Time again. And then I carried the border over to the back of the card a little bit, and I haven't stamped this yet or put a stamp on the back. So that's this sweet little Christmas tree card. I'm hoping you can see everything. And then I have two other things to share. If you were following me on Instagram this week, I shared my coloring of this beautiful candy corn bars image. And I don't have the stamp set yet, but I did receive this digitally from Adorn It. These are Diana Markham's Halloween release drop that just happened this past Tuesday, I believe it was. And so these are out on the Adorn It website now. And they're now stocking a la carte stamps regularly of Diana Markham's beautiful artwork. And so there's a Halloween, I think it's 7 sets that came out for Halloween. And if you go to the Adorn It website, you can see them all. But this is one of the stamps that she did, and it's this beautiful candy corn bars. And so I colored this with Copics, and I had posted the picture of my coloring to Instagram. And so tonight I just went ahead and made it into a card. And I just used a little scallop die set cut out of some orange cardstock. This beautiful, I colored it and die cut it with the Anna White die, which is, did I bring that down? I think I did. The Crazy Stitched die set from Anna White. So that's what I used to die cut the actual candy corn with. Okay, and this is her set that has these beautiful stitching marks on it. So that's the rectangle die that I used. And again, it's just colored with Copic markers. And then I added a little bit of that twine from the Dollar Tree. And then the set comes with these 2 additional little candy corns. So I colored those up and hand cut them out and added them onto the card. And then on the inside, I just used that same Crazy Stitch die set from Anna White on the inside of the card. So just a really sweet, simple card. I love candy corn. I ate it a lot when I was growing up. And this is an actual candy corn bar recipe with peanut butter in it, and I want to try it. So I'm going to try and get the ingredients this week and maybe make this and give it to as some little Halloween gifts to some of my family members. So then I decided to also color it again as an autumn piece of candy corn. And I don't know if you guys get harvest corn in your area, but there's usually 2 different forms of candy corn. And we used to also buy this kind when we were growing up. And so I colored it this kind of the same way again. I do add some darker color Copic markers in the shaded areas. Diana does a wonderful job of adding these little stippling dots on her stamps, and that's where you want to shade. So you can bring in a darker colored marker and just shade up the areas where you see that stippling, and that will help give your coloring some definition. And don't be afraid to mix and match colors. You know, a lot of times you can take a brown or kind of a taupey craft color, and you can just add that on top of whatever you colored with to get that darker look. So don't be afraid to mix and match colors together to get kind of that shading look to come alive. And you can see like where I used a darker kind of a brownish color over the yellow. I used kind of a taupey craft color over the orange. And I used a darker brown over the lighter brown. So that helps to give you some definition to your coloring. And I just think these turned out so cute with the little candy corns at the bottom. And Diana, I just love this image, my dear. I love how you added the sunflowers behind the candy corn. I think this is so beautiful. So this is probably my very favorite image from the release. But there is so many cute things for Halloween. She's got cats and witches and pumpkins with bows. I want to color that one next, I think. So I thought I would start with this one and share these 2 cards with you today for Saturday Morning Makes. So that is everything that I created. I can't even fit it all in the screen here, I don't think. But that is everything I have to share for you for Saturday Morning Makes. I am behind on looking at projects. I'm not sure if I've seen everything for the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry, life's a little bit hectic right now. We just went back to school and I'm working a lot and family stuff. So, but I will get around as I have time and see everybody's projects. I saw a lot of beautiful things on Instagram and so many beautiful posts. People are making Christmas projects, Halloween projects. They're doing journals, so many fun things, albums, and just lots of fun shares from everybody. So thank you so much for making Saturday Morning Makes part of your time for crafting and sharing art in a community format like this with this open art collaboration. I so appreciate all of you, and I hope that you're all having a wonderful weekend. Choose joy, and to everyone out there that's maybe struggling a bit with health issues, a lot of my friends are right now, and my thoughts and prayers are with you all. Mary and Susan and Mike and my friend Kevin and Annette and oh, I'm sure I'm not going to remember everybody, but I think of you all, my friend P, so many of you. And then there's a lot of people that have happy occasions coming up. My friend Elise's daughter's getting married. And so I hope you're all just enjoying time with family and friends this weekend and that you can choose joy. And I pray for good health for everybody. So everyone, take good care. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will be back again to share more with you as soon as I can, okay? And don't forget, those of you that are waiting for process videos, I will try and get to those as soon as I have time. All right. Blessings and hugs. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. And thank you so much for making Saturday Morning Makes so much fun. All right. Bye now.